Alrighty, well, it's been 5 days since the new update dropped, and I think it's time we jumped into the pool head first. Hello, everybody. My name is Frogman, and welcome to the, I guess, Captain of Industry playthrough for the channel for this new update. Or I should say, for the first time. We've never done this on the channel. Me personally, I've got about 300 hours in this game over the past, I forget however many months. I think I picked it up about 6 or 8 months ago about halfway through update 2, I forget exactly. So I do at least understand a little bit of how the game goes. As we can see, there's a save sitting right here that I could kind of can click on and we can look at it very quickly. Um, we're going to start a new world because of the fact that they've added a whole bunch of brand new stuff. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to get to play with some trains. We're going to get to do some other fun stuff. But I figure for right now, we're going to click into here really quick, looking at a bunch of random stuff, just so that we can see what kind of a hodgepodge mess Frogman can tend to build when he builds random garbage stuff. So this is the Gold Peak Island before the update changed. And this is just one of the many different little things that we're going to do. So just so that we could say we've been here, done this. I forget exactly how many hours I've got in this particular world. It doesn't really matter. And it looks like hell, which is pretty much typical for the way we play things. Anyhow, let's get back out of here. We're going to build us a new one. So, new game today. Again, we're going to kind of go through this with a little bit of fun because of the fact that there has been some serious updates, and we're going to talk about some of the serious updates in a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of a choice, and I'm not going to necessarily say these are going to be tutorials. I'm not going to say we're going to be talking about things, but I do have a really bad habit of trying to teach, even though I don't really know a whole heck of a lot about a few things. First thing I am going to say is that they've added more resources to the game. So we now have bauxite, we now have titanium, I believe diamonds, and some more interesting ways to get resources, which is nothing major as far as things go. And according to the devs, all of the current islands that we have had up until now, so like everything before Dragon's Tail, has been revamped to include new resources and whatnot so that you can get through things. If you're playing on an older save, so like the reasoning why I clicked into that save was the fact that if you're playing on an older save, you're going to have to go out into the world to go find the new resources. New saves should have resources on them. So like if I click on show on the map here, bauxite was not included up until just recently, and as you see here on this map, you can go get it now, which is pretty cool. We're going to, at least for this one, try the new map. Now, I've played New Haven, Golden Peak, and Beach, I believe, as far as all of these go. I am very interested in playing with trains. I'm very interested in having a long, stupid empire, and yes, I have played Factorio on Ribbon World, or whatever it's called. It's quite a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and click this one. We're going to pick, I have a notion to pick the hard one, the starting location here, but I'm not really all that insane, mainly because it's kind of hard to get over there. We might I think we'll just go ahead and do the easy one for right now, just because I'm looking for a nice chill playthrough, and we're going to go from there. All right, so this, again, you can pick various starting locations on this map. This map is massive. We'll see it here in just a little bit. Next, game difficulty. We're going to play Captain because Captain is Captain. I'm not insane, and I'm certainly not a sailor or a seaman. Mechanics. We're going to not do casual, not do resource boost. Realism, I notion to do this one just for fun, because it's always fun. I'm not really worried about this right now. We'll deal with this later. Ore sorting is a new functionality that you can turn on and off. The machines that continuously sort ores will be able to sort. So like if you shut this off, the trucks and whatnot will be able to sort stuff to the various locations that they need to go. With it on, it provides a little bit more realism and a little bit more need for whatever. So yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit more logistical work around that. And no, we're going to leave that just the way that it goes. I'm not going to mess with any more customization. And we're going to do like blink, 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 blink. And let's go mining. Provide a game name now contains and come on. Whatever. That's fine. We'll do that. Launch the game. Let's get started. Ding! All right, we are going to, before we get any further into this mess, go ahead and pause the game. We don't need it to be counting on anything right now. Before we go anywhere, I am going to do the tutorial up here because of the fact that it allows us to get a whole lot of extra resources early that will make our lives a lot simpler. So if you're going to start in one of the harder locations on the map, I highly suggest you do this. You can shut it off in the settings if you want to, and a lot of this is just basically what's going on. We've found the island we've been searching for. It is not on the map. Our ship took a lot of damage. We'll need to make major repairs in order to sail again, but we should be safe. Besides our initial resources or supplies, we are starting from scratch. You should start manufacturing construction parts to be able to build our infrastructure, grow food, and feed our people, and blah, 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 blah. The island looks abandoned, but has plenty of natural resources that we can use. There are even some abandoned buildings that we can disassemble, for scrap. Of course, then they're going to talk about getting into science and found out a settlement that currently what we're already at that we can do. Oh yeah, the settlement. We found a settlement on the map that we can do trading with. We're going to have to set up trading dock, and of course, the entire crew is counting on you after everything we have been through together. Good luck. So, as far as this game goes, for those of you that are looking for what I would say a gentle, I'm going to say kind of gentle ease into understanding how factory and automation style games go, this one is pretty easy to understand, and it has a different twist to it when it comes to factory style games. So again, we're going to go through a lot of the little things, and we'll talk about this stuff as we go. Again, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to try very careful to go at this kind of slow. So let's take a look at this island. Okay, so as far as it goes, we can click the grid on and we'll be able to see everything else. Those are, as far as I recall, meter square corners. So that's how big some of this stuff is. What I do enjoy very much about this game is the realism and what it looks like. So even the vehicles, the tires move, they have little smokestacks that blow smoke. The like this is a tree cutter. It'll actually kind of cut a tree down the way a tree cutter would look, although this isn't necessarily what they would look like. Details are nice. They're gritty in places where they need to be. The ship looks battle worn and tired, all those kinds of things. And our people are currently living in a shipping container village, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We've been given enough food to last, according to here, with the amount of people that we currently have. So we currently have 78 people. We have 63 months of food left before we have to start worrying about growing our own food. Now, as far as the island goes, this is, again, like I said, I believe these are meter squares. So this is, however that goes. I don't even want to count how many things go. It's fairly sizable as far as width, and it is incredibly distant across multiple things. And what's interesting about this well, in order for us to be able to mine local things like the first backside or aluminum, and I'm going to say it the correct way, we have to go all the way the heck over here. I mean, we're talking way, 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 way over there. I'm looking forward to this because all of the other islands tend to get a little cramped early on because you don't have a lot of surface area. Whereas this one, we have tons and tons and tons and tons of surface area, looks like. So we have oil patches, we have coal patches, we have iron patches, we have copper patches, we have limestone patches, water, all kinds of, lots of water, actually, plenty of water, plenty of copper. This should be crystal or whatever this is, quartz. It's how we make something later on. And yes, this is the other starting location, which I would assume, what is all that? Is that titanium? Oh, so we're going to go out there anyway. Nice. The biggest issue with the way that this game works is the fact that, as we can see, the usable surface area to build on early to mid game gets very, very, very hard to do until you can start doing things like, well, tear down mountains. So we will see how that goes in the beginning. This episode is just going to be me kind of rambling a little bit. We're going to get started, get it going, and get some stuff built. But yeah, likely this entire mountain range, depending on how this goes, is going to get leveled because we're going to need to build an entire empire of random stuff. And again, I'm looking forward to using trains to get from point A to point B on a schedule, well, a size of a place this big. So let's go get started. And again, I'm going to try to go fairly slow because I know I'm one of those kinds of people. I get really excited because I like playing games like this. Now, coffee, drink, we go from there. So as far as this goes, when I say this is a fairly simple, easy way to start into automation games, is because it really is kind of fairly simple. So we're going to go through and it's going to tell us what we need to go ahead and do. First thing it wants to do is build a coal maker and connect it to a smokestack, assign trucks to tree harvester, start harvesting trees. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here, we're going to click on said tree harvester, and so we can kind of see what's going on, and we get a new UI that's movable around. You can pin it to the wall so it won't go away as you try to open somebody else's little thing. So that is one thing to notice when you're playing around. If you do not have this pinned, it will switch between the UIs as you're playing things around. So I'm not really worried about this right now. All I want to do is go over here to where it says assign trucks and hit 2 trucks so that we have 2 of these guys to go take care of that tree harvester. You, sir, need to be told what to do. And it's going to take some of this stuff. Again, this is in the tutorials. You can see it where you want to. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here to forestry, and we're going to assign or harvest trees in a designated location. Now, the first area I think I want them to work, we're going to kind of go at this very carefully and kind of picky. I want to open this spot up right here. So we're going to say about like this, and then I want to open up the area just south of where this oil patch is, southeast. I don't even know what direction we're facing. Do we have a thing? I don't, whatever. But yeah, right below this, I want to open up those areas. Trees are a commodity that we're going to need an awful lot of as we go on through this game, and I want to make sure that the area that we're basically, I don't want to be paving over trees. I don't want to be cutting them down with buildings. Buildings. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Anyhow, you guys go get to work. We're going to let the game go, and we can shut this off, and they'll go ahead and go over there and go do a few things. So let go. All right, cool. Now, they also said they want us to make a coal maker, and we're going to need to build a blast furnace and a metal caster and a smokestack to get a bunch of this stuff going. And then we're going to work on building a farm. So as they stated, we have scrap available. We also have a few things inside our shipyard to be able to use to build a few things. So we've got a little coal, a little bit of electronics, some vehicle parts, some mechanical parts, some construction parts, some rubber, some fuel, which is going to be our big problem, and a little bit of copper. And like I said, the pre-mentioned food, which we're now down to 62. That's fine. We're all right. So according to everything else that we need to do, we need to start thinking about maybe possibly dismantling this abandoned communication station, which has almost 1,000 iron scrap and 600 stone or concrete bricks, whatever they want to call it. So I think the first thing we're going to do, and given the way this is working, we could actually maybe. See, the biggest problem is we're going to be laying out massive chains of construction and production and things, and I would like to try to remanufacture them as little as possible. So I think we're going to try to save, so say like this section from here out. I know that doesn't look like a lot. I'm going to try to save that for other things. So let's say we're going to build our, I don't know, our metal smelting and whatnot out here, because this little mountain right there is full of iron. So early easiness, you want to try to keep your production of metals and whatnot close to where they're actually, located. This is going to be a pain because this is a little teeny tiny coal patch, and we're going to end up having to uncover a lot. But anyhow, let's go ahead and plop a blast furnace and some stuff down right here, and then we'll start taking apart this thing and making usable stuff out of it. So blast furnace is going to be under smelting, blast furnaces, and I think I'm going to point it, let's say about like so, and then we're going to grab 2 metal casters because this will be able to produce, and this is where the numbers go, and this is why I say this is a fairly easy game to understand if you're looking to get into these kinds of games to see whether or not this is something you can handle. Because, and of course I love this, as soon as we put something down, our friendos, hey, I didn't want you guys to do anything, I should have paused. And I really screwed up. I don't think I have that, do I? No, we don't have build mode yet, do we? So why don't you pause that real quick? Thank you. You guys don't need to build anything. They already started building it. Beautiful. Well, that's fine. We'll go ahead and build it right there, and we can move it later. If you want to pause or do a few things, you can definitely, have fun with it at that direction. Anyhow, we're going to also drop down a couple of metal casters. And I think we're going to do something kind of like so, maybe. Where is my output for here? Now, the thing is this is reasonably realistic because of the fact they gave us the ability to, well, they give us the ability to have multiple problems, kind of like Factorio and other things. These machines will produce pollution, so we do have to provide it with a, can you go over there out of my way, with a smokestack so that it can then get rid of or dump its pollution to do whatever. So we'll let them build the smokestack while we're at it. The reason why I'm kind of doing this is I want a certain amount of space in between here and the thing that it needs to connect to. So a metal caster, you can do this multiple ways. I'm going to probably, for right now, do something about like this, and then drop another one down, because a metal caster inside its numbers will take 12 molten iron and turn it into 12 iron. This will be able to produce 24 molten iron and a little bit of stuff. So one of these can run two of these. Now, the same old thing applies for a lot of these games. The copy-paste function is a function that this can do, so you can do that. You also have a flip action, which will allow you to flip things should you want to flip things. And so we're going to drop one right here, and we should have, at least at this point, the early transports that we get are going to be molten channel. So this is the fun thing about this game. There are 4 different types of transport belts. So you have molten channels where this can fly down, or dump down molten liquid on. We have pipes, then we will have belts later on, and there are 2 different types of belts. So we'll go ahead and leave this on slow for now, just so they can do a few things, and I'm going to click out a bunch of the little things that we have currently. So farm, not yet. Get rid of a bunch of these things. We're just going to see how far we can get today, whether or not we're going to get anywhere at all. I don't know. Forestry coal maker. Okay, this is the other thing we're going to for certain need to do. I'm going to build this. Theoretically, I could share. Well, I'm not really worried about it right now. What we're going to do is we're going to just kind of build a couple of things around this little structure for right now. The next thing they want us to do is build a coal maker so that we can start making coal to replenish what we need for this. So we'll plop down a coal maker, make sure its recipe is set correctly, which it should be. And then all it needs, again, if we want to, we can copy and paste and drop that down, and it'll build another one of those things. Again, like I say, there's some really cool things. If I pause and go like this, we can do copy and paste of various things. The game does have a blueprint mode, so once you get something you have built that you like, you can... I did it again, and I forgot to. Hang on. I'm getting into stuff that's not already set, but again, well, we're just here early. You can easily, build out a lot of continuously built stuff, and you can even grab all of this and then double it down. So if you want to do that kind of stuff, you can. We're early game, we're playing the tutorial, so it's not showing us all the functionality that we would normally get. But anyhow, let them build, and let's go do a few things. How are we doing on trees, guys? We have 2 trucks with 2 trees. How many trucks do we have not doing anything right now? So part of the UI, again, we're going to kind of look at some stuff here. You do have some information as far as food. Again, shows how much food for how long it will last, how your current people's health are, how many current people you currently have, how many people you have available to work, how many housing free open homes that you have at this point, and how many current trucks that we have that are doing whatever. We currently have a total limit of 80, which is nice because it's one of the features of the update is they doubled the number of vehicles we can have, I guess, by endgame. So now we're over here looking, and we can watch things happen. Like I said, I really kind of like the way it works. It's reasonably functional. The machines, like say this blast furnace, has a thing that runs up and down and dumps stuff in the furnace. Now, whether or not you can actually see what's going on is whatever. Molten channels will dump molten liquids down them, and then you get to see a little bucket come over and dump it into a casting channel that then turns into a bunch of plates that then, when they cool, they slide off of a conveyor belt into the deal. Did I put that down wrong? Love it, guys. We get to rebuild this. Can we deconstruct that, please? Because I turned it around the wrong direction. One of the many things about this game you have to be careful of is your things don't automatically necessarily line up when you're putting them down. And because I copied that one, it won't really... I copied it off of this, which means I copied the direction this one was facing. So Put that down and build it correctly this time. Now I can speed up building if I want to. We can grab that little button right here where it says for a little bit of Unity we can speed up the current construction, or we can just wait on our trucks to show up and do whatever they need to do. We will get into Unity in a little bit. Probably not this episode. I'm just going to try to see how much we can knock out in about 30 or 45 minutes here, and we can go from there. All right, so now we are producing a little bit of pollution, and we should actually be able to see that in the, where is it, over here? Where is it? Unity. I don't know if they're going to show it to us right now. Yeah, there we go. Unity popular overlay, population overlay, all these kinds of things. If you look at all the fun stuff in here, that will tell us all the things that are currently increasing our Unity. Unity is just another tool that you can use to increase things or do other stuff. But as we can see right now, we're going to start having accounts on some stuff as it goes. We'll worry about that in a later date. All right. We should be making iron, and we have a thing to collect. Now, like I said, this is why if you're first into this, or if you, I don't care if you're a veteran or not, play through the tutorial, because it makes life a heck of a lot easier. We're going to get a little bit more fuel, we're going to get some construction parts, and we're going to get some vehicle parts. Go. Okay. Power production, we're going to do this one for right now, and probably work on getting that trading dock done, which means we have to start doing research. Things that I'm going to say. Inside this information here, we're currently gathering up waste in our settlement, which is going to make our people not very happy with each other if the waste builds up too much. Part of this is also the thing about food. There are multiple ways in this game for it to kill you, and I want to say it just like that. This is one of those games where I will say that you will make a decision, and it will snowball over time. So it's kind of like Oxygen Not Included for those of you that have played Oxygen Not Included. And for that matter, if you guys have ever played Oxygen Not Included, these are your dupes. These little trucks right here, they're your dupes. Just think of it like that. This is kind of the way I have to play this game because I'm used to playing other things like, Factory or Satisfactory or Dyson Sphere Program, where you have multiple things. Plus, you're also not an entity in this world. So one of the many things that will snowball you early, especially, is the trash that will build up in your settlement. And the only way to get the trash out is by doing certain things. Now, I'm going to kind of do these a little backwards, but we are going to go ahead and build a waste collection facility. And I'm going to say I'm going to use, the reason why I'm going to say we're probably going to do a little bit is this facility, these town is probably going to get built this direction. This is going to get moved probably pretty quickly in a future episode. This likely is going to get kind of leapfrogged, or whatever, this direction, so that we can open up some of the coastline area. So we're going to build the trash collection right there. And I think while we're at it, I'm going to consume a little bit of area right here and put a farm down. Where you guys going to be happy with that? Can I get it? I kind of want to leave it away from this. It looks really good over here, but you want to try to keep certain available open area like this open. I think we'll go... I think we'll drop it about right here. Now, one thing I am going to say about farms, and it's something that you're going to have to pay attention to, I don't think we have any water close to us right now, do we? The water is right there. Okay, so we do have availability of water. I like to keep my farms kind of close to water because eventually we're going to have to put a pump on some water to get the farm irrigated to get it to produce a little bit more food. I think for right now I'm going to place it right there with the little building kind of facing this direction so that the trucks don't have to drive very far to pick up our stuff. And when we do get conveyors and whatnot, we can just plug the output of this farm directly into there. So we'll let them build. And you are mad about what? Yeah, you need to be told how to do some stuff. So while we're looking at this here very quickly, build a waste collection attached to the settlement, designated dumping zone for waste. I think for right now, we're going to build a trash facility reasonably far away from what it is. So like I said, we might just use this little flat spot over here, or I might come up here. Let's go up here. Looks like we can probably do some little stuff here. So as far as being able to dump trash, we're going to go into terraforming. We're going to set up a designation for dumping, and the dumping will automatically have a locational thing, so we can do up, we can do flat, we can go up, down, sideways, or wherever. I'm just going to grab a spot about right here and do it about this wide, drag it to about, I don't know, say 8, and then I'm going to hit this, and we're just going to go level from there till about here, and that's fine. So a lot of people will throw that into the ocean. Don't throw your trash into the ocean. Do not fill in holes with trash. I mean, you can, but we can clean it up later, so we're not going to do that. That should allow us to, let's see, build waste. You did. Did I build the wrong thing? Dang it. Hang on a minute. Wrong thing. I thought I clicked the right thing. Go ahead, dig that up, refresh it, and we'll move waste collection. Sorry about that. Put that right there then. Build that. Okay. Farm is built. I know we're kind of just jumping all over the place. I want to try to get us to where we're kind of stable, and then we can do a few things. All right, we're currently growing the potatoes. Potatoes are good. This farm will be completely and totally based off of the rainfall that we get. So it will produce, it's going to, like I said, it has a soil moisture in it that will show you how long it's been until it has its rain. When it rains, it'll fill that bar up. Soil fertility is about as good as it's going to get for right now. Potatoes do not require a lot of soil fertility, so we will have to just kind of deal with them as they go. And hopefully we don't have a, come on guys, rain. Hopefully we don't have a problem. We might. Yep. Well, we'll get to see it do the thing then. So now we're going to be waiting for it to rain, which means if we click out here, we are X amount of run without water. The crop will survive up to 3 months. So you do have a little bit of time in between storms, but it may or may not rain anytime soon. Who knows? Anyhow, we should be good to go there. That will at least keep us alive. Waste dumping, we got our new thing. I didn't even see what that was. Let's see, dumping waste. We know messages, all those kinds of things. And again, if you're interested to see how things work, go through, read all the little information. There's plenty of information as far as how to build stuff. We have an entire entry as far as all the little things that we can currently construct, build, or produce, or look at. And again, at this point, we can start to look at our production. So we're currently building coal. Coal over here, we don't have any place to store it, so it's just kind of hanging out. But we can see what the production looks like over the last 120 months. Concrete, diesel, what else are we making? Are we making anything at all? Potatoes. We'll be able to watch potatoes go up and down. So, good, it rained. So we'll fill that back up, and it should be all right for a little bit. But yeah, there's lots and lots and lots of little things that you can click on. And if you don't like, this whole mess, you can condense it or whatever. So collect reward. We get 40 potatoes and 20 more things to build stuff with. All right, where are we? What are we doing? We should be able to do the last little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and get a diesel generator down and a research lab down. Sure, let's see. First things first, the diesel is going to be the first major hurdle that you're going to have to worry about because all of your trucks, by hurdle I mean, it's going to be the first thing we're going to sit down and build an actual automation structure for. But for now, we're not going to worry about it. Why I say that is because diesel generation as far as power is going to be your first power for a while. And the reason why I did say the thing that I wanted to clear this mess out is that this is our first oil deposit right here. I want to kind of keep my diesel generation close to where I'm going to be building my fuel. So there's no reason to build a diesel generator over here when you're going to be building fuel over in this area likely. So we're going to start with our diesel generator over here somewhere. And I figure probably we'll just try to hook up we'll see this probably next episode, but I do kind of want to just forethink this just a little bit. We'll say one diesel generator right there for now. And we can close that. I want to do a couple of research labs We're going to put the research labs probably right here for right now, maybe a little further over. We're going to do 2 of them for now. The reason why I put them over here, ooh, that was awful. Dude, line things up. There, better. The reason why I'm not putting them right in here is that we're going to start working on moving a bunch of this stuff around as we go. And as soon as we get excavators, I'm going to start leveling the world out of here so that we can have more surface area to build on. So we'll work on that. We'll get those guys built. This should be fueled. They will bring fuel over here and take care of it. Another thing that I enjoy, again, is the fact that when we get to the point where we care about it, the fuel production, or at least the production of power for the game, is scalable based on use. So it's not like Satisfactory, it's more like Factorio, where the generators will turn on as they are needed, and you can set them a priority to turn on based on however. And also there's when we get down there, we can mess with them, but you can also kind of play with them with the solar panels and whatnot that goes. So once that gets fueled up, that will get dumped in, and then those little red things will go away, and we can research construction, research trading dock. So the first thing I'm going to do is, again, we're getting a whole bunch of messages. I know, it's fine, it's great, it's wonderful, it doesn't really matter, we'll play with it. Last thing I want to do before we do anything left on this is look at the tech tree as far as these go and research the first thing that we can research, which is going to be construction. And where is the trading dock? So trading dock is going to be the first one there. I would rather research the trading dock than the construction right off the bat, but we can loop through these things. So the first thing I'm going to do, again, trading dock, and the reason why we're going to do trading dock is because that's going to get us unit storages as well as a trading dock. For those of you that are wondering how much research cost is going to be, there's a little teeny tiny number right above this corner over here that will tell you how much research it functions. We will see that in a minute. We're going to go ahead and start that research. Then I'm going to do the tools. Then we're going to do construction, maintenance, vehicles mining, basic concrete, basic diesel, and beacon. And we're going to stop right about there. The reason why we're going to kind of do these, one thing, again, I love about this game is for science, we can enqueue everything that we want for quite a ways out. So you can kind of see the lines that we need to do. The reason why we're going to do that is I want my trading dock, which should be done here in just a second since we're running. And then I want the tools that help me make my life easier so I can see all the things. And then we're going to go into the natural progression of things. Construction, which will get us our first assembly machines as well as some more new construction parts. Maintenance, because we're going to need maintenance as we work all the way through things. Vehicles, because we're going to need the vehicle support for the excavators, more pickups, tree harvesters, ore sorting plants, loose storage, miner control towers. Beacons are to allow us to get more people to show up. Of course, diesel, so that we can make more power, which is going to be our first basic oil production facility. And basic concrete, because we're going to need a bunch of these other things. And pretty quickly, pretty easily, as far as the way this goes, when you first start this game out, you should be able to get to about that first science level, this first research lab, very, very quickly. So everything on this page is necessary before I would highly suggest you even start thinking about building larger scale structures, because in here are your conveyor belts, your conveyor lifts, your fuel stations, your groundwater pumps, better farming, water production things, stuff, more interesting things. Yes, so you probably want to try to get to right here before you get to being really interested and silly. And it also gives automated tree farming down here in the bottom corner. So we did the, let's see, trading dock. We got that done. We're going to go ahead and plop that trading dock down. Probably, if I can get it to go right there, let's go right here. Maybe you'll be happy. Ships have, I guess, interactions with each other, so we have to be able to put it someplace where it will not interact with our current ship, so it'll tell us green. And you also kind of want to shove them as far away from the actual building area as possible, so bang. And then we'll go from there. Cool. I guess we can close that. We should be currently researching construction, so we'll go. The labs are just currently using basic research, so all of this early game research is not using anything but time. So in reality, if I had the space, how much do those guys take? 6? Get another one of those going for us, fellas. All this does is take time, and if there's more of you, that's less time. Go ahead and do all 3. I think I have enough construction parts. We have 294, so we should be good to go there. And I've got it on slow, so it's going to take it a minute. How are we doing over here? You still have 728 and 60, and we should have that. Now, like I say, because we have unit storages now, which is a new thing that we got, and this will be one of the last little things we do. This is your chest. This is your container. What I'm going to do for right now, since I don't have any belts, and belts are going to be out for a while, is I'm going to place this one right here. I'm going to copy it, rotate it around, and put it right there so that these two things can at least dump into a container. Coal is a different type of storage, which means we can't do anything with it. The other thing I can do is I can put unit storages over here if I so feel to pick up a lot of this stuff, but for right now, this is just free storage and it's not taking up any space. So we're fine. We got all 3 of them going. All right, maintenance should be rolling. Okay, construction is now done. We're going to be into maintenance. And you're going to want me to build some assemblies. I'm waiting on you guys to get this trading dock done. And then I think we're going to end this episode because I've got a whole lot of research that we're going to have to do. Am I out of stuff? No, we shouldn't be out. Why are y'all waiting? Oh, they went and built those. That's the other thing you can do as well. These, oh, it's wood. That's right. This is wood that it needs. You can also, while you're building things, so like if you're building multiple structures at the same time, in the functionality of building these, so if I go copy like this and hit pause really quickly. Oh, good, we have our tools deck. The reason why I was interested about this is you get this nice little thing down here in the corner which tells you exactly what you can, well, these are all fancy things, so, you know, remove debris, we'll use Unity to clear out rocks, of course, deconstruct, cut, copy, paste, copy settings from one to another, Unity tools, pause, which is nice, and of course the upgrade button. But my favorite thing is planning mode. You click planning mode, and then we do something like so. And I have this. If I click planning mode, I copy this, it will turn a gray color, which means now I can let the game run, and they won't try to build that. But what's nice about it, like I said, is if I did want them to build it, I have a little construction priority down here in the corner that if I say I want something built immediately, they'll work on that one first. If I want to wait for as long as possible, then we'll do that there. It's something that you can do while you're building various things. If there's certain parts that you know you're going to be short on, if you want it to build one thing at a time, then it'll build one thing at a time. Or it'll build it all at the same time. Who knows? Anyhow, we're construction parts. Where are we? I think we're going to go ahead and do... Let's go ahead and get the trading done, and then we'll work on construction in the next episode. So trading, you can hit trading up both here, or you can hit it up down here in the bottom at trade, or you can hit it at the map. So first time looking at the map, we don't have a whole heck of a lot opened up, but we do have a trading partner. So they said they wanted us to trade what? Concrete slab for iron. We'll just click in here, trade with a village, concrete slab for iron. This one, boom, done. You just click it once, and then you should be good to go. Trading, collect reward, that's going to give us some more concrete slabs and some more stuff. And again, this is why I say you want to kind of use this, because those construction parts, they can become quite painful to have to make fairly early. So I think given that, that'll be the end of it. We'll jump into actual automation, construction, and building of pieces, parts in the next episode. So right now, we're going to kind of go at these just kind of chilling. I know I'm probably going to try to run through and get as much done as possible. I am going to say that we are going to try to do all of the sciences as we can together, the researches. Yep, there we go. Now we have access to all of the actual fun big boy toys. So, like I said, we're going to try to go through all these together. We're going to have fun doing, you know, just the normal things that we can do. Geez, what did we ding? Getting all kinds of dings. Anyhow, I will see you all in the next one. We'll continue on having a little bit of fun. I hope you guys are looking forward to this. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, and now that we have something that's going to be, geez, you know, worth it to try to lay trains down on. We'll try to get her done. So I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.